Hello and welcome to BTTV. Bond markets in the last few months have been highly volatile. The debt mutual fund schemes, which till a few months ago were delivering double digit returns, have started delivering much lower single digit returns. We have with us Mr. Pankaj Pathak, Fund Manager Fixed Income Quantum Mutual Fund, to throw some light on where he sees the bond markets heading to from here. He also discusses where investors with different investment horizons invest when it comes to debt mutual funds. Mr. Pathak also shares a few debt mutual fund categories which he believes should be avoided in the current uncertain bond markets. Let's see what he said.
See, we had a long uh, easing cycle from 2018 till mid of 2020, and that gain is already got captured now. What we see now is that macro backdrop is changing. Inflation, as I mentioned earlier, that is gaining some momentum. Uh, Growth recovery has been better than our means what people were anticipating earlier. The policy rates are already at decade low. So at this moment, we see very high chance of rates moving higher uh, in the next 1 2 years. If that's the case, bond yields are likely to move higher. Uh, the extent of increase or the turbulence in the market will depend on the pace of normalization. So, at what pace RBI suck out the liquidity or high policy rates, that will determine what kind of impact long duration funds will face. So, broadly, we see interest rates moving higher, but there are even in rising interest rate cycle, investors get some opportunity in debt funds in a sense that we see accruals rising. So when interest rates move up, we see higher accrual on short duration funds. So like liquid funds or ultra short term funds, there we may get slightly higher accrual over the period. So those funds tend to gain, while the long duration funds, there will be higher risk on those categories.
Where should investors looking to invest for shorter duration, say for 1 or 2 months, invest, or maybe for the emergency corpus? Where should investors invest?
I think anytime if you have a holding period only of 1 or 2 months, should remain limited to overnight or liquid categories. Should not go beyond that, uh, because as you move higher on the maturity curve, you take more and more risk, and given your holding period is short, uh, that can actually impact your principal amount, not just the gains. So it's better to stick to overnight or liquid funds.
And if we go beyond 1 or 2 months, say like around 1 to 2 years, where should those investors invest?
Again, I think at this moment, when given there is very high uncertainty in the fixed income market, it's better to be conservative. So again, I would say be very conservative with the money if you don't have very high holding period. Even for 1 year kind of holding period, we don't know how interest rates will pan out in next 1 year, and most likely we'll see interest rates moving higher. So as you move up on the duration curve, uh, possibility is that you'll incur some market losses. So it's better to be conservative and again focus on very low liquid fund kind of categories, and be happy with whatever you are getting there.
Okay. And those investors who are looking to freeze their returns, which they have earned in equity, usually financial planners to tell such investors to gradually move out of equities when they near their goals. So, where should they invest to freeze the equity returns?
See, I think it's always important to follow your broader asset allocation. We should not be too tactical to take opportunities from various market movements. But anyways, even for the fixed income market, I think things are turning. Last 2 3 years, we had a big rally, and overall RBI was cutting rate. There was concern on growth, but now that macro backdrop has changed, we see inflation gaining some momentum. It's not reflected in the year-on-year numbers, but uh, internal components, there are multiple components where we see pricing pressure. Uh, RBI has already reduced rate to repo at 4%, which is at a decade low. And given the inflation projection, means broadly people are expecting inflation to average around 5% in this financial year. So with 4% repo, we are already in negative real rate, right? So uh, there are evidence which suggests that that rate cycle is already over. Rate cutting cycle is already over, and there is a possibility that we'll see some normalization, some rollback of these easing measures, uh, maybe normalization on the liquidity and the uh, repo or reverse repo rate in this year itself. So if that has to happen, possibility is that rates will move higher. So even on the fixed income space, things are not that attractive what we had earlier. Uh, but fact remain, you still get a lot of a large part of your income through interest accruals. So if you have a holding period more than 3 years, there could be opportunities in bond funds where uh, but I would again suggest don't go for very long duration funds. I mean, stick to shorter duration categories. So maybe short duration fund or other categories where duration is at around similar level.
Okay, moving on to long-term investment. So usually we see financial planners recommending equities when it comes to investments beyond 5 years. So why should investors invest in debt mutual funds for long term, and which schemes would be the ones where they should be investing at?
See, there are multiple reasons for that. One, the biggest one is diversification. You can't hold all your asset in equities. They definitely give higher return. They have a long history of wealth creation, but they also comes with a lot of volatility, right? So you don't know when you need that money, and there could be a chance you need that money when equity markets are down, like what we had in March 2020 last year. So it's always prudent to have a diversified allocation across asset classes, and fixed income is one asset class which uh, kind of has a history where uh, give a kind of stability to the portfolio. So uh, that could be one reason. Go for as a portfolio stabilizer. You can invest in fixed income. It provides you regular income flow. So fixed income instruments, they do carry interest or coupon. Uh, that's a continuous cash flow what you get. So that could be another reason why people, even for longer period, should look at fixed income instruments. So there can be n number of reasons for depending on individuals' objective and their risk appetite. But I think diversification does make sense.
Okay, and which kind of schemes or which category of debt mutual funds schemes should long term investors look at?
So if you have a long-term, long holding period, uh, you can look at all the long duration funds. They they come with some volatility, but definitely they offer uh, slightly better prospect. Even dynamic bond funds could be very good alternative, where the fund manager has flexibility to change the portfolio positioning depending on the interest rate cycles. So, means through that they can lower the volatility of the fund in certain time periods. So that again could be a good alternative for long-term investors.
And coming to some debt mutual fund schemes which you would recommend investors to avoid given the current market.
So first, as I mentioned, that things are uncertain, even in fixed income space for next 1 2 year. Most likely, we'll see RBI hiking rate or sucking out liquidity. So any long duration fund, secular long duration fund, I think investors should stay away from those funds, especially if they have a short holding period. And Other thing is, after COVID, we have seen a lot of industries getting impacted badly. And till now, there was a lot of relaxation in terms of their repayment and debt repayment and other things. So that pain is still not reflected. But we are worried about stress in the credit market. Uh, if you see all the rating agencies or the RBI, everybody is highlighting risk towards the credit defaults or downgrades. So even for debt mutual fund investors, I think this could be one thing where you need to be very cautious. So even the credit risk fund, I think at this time they carry a lot higher risk. So these two categories, I would say investors should stay away.
And what are the kind of risks that investors should be wary of when it comes to investing in debt funds?
So the two main risks are the duration and the interest rate risk, that interest rates move up and down and that impact your NAV. When interest rates move up, price of bonds fall and you get negatively impacted. And the other is the credit risk, right? So when companies default, we have faced a lot of credit events in the last 2-3 years. So I think investors are well aware of that risk. But these two remain a prominent risk even at this moment. If we expect, means broadly interest rate cycle is over, that cutting cycle is over, and we may see interest rates inching up very soon. So it makes sense to be conservative in terms of interest rate risk. And same as I mentioned earlier, that still there is stress in the credit market. It's better to avoid much of credit risk in one's portfolio. So these two remain major risk.